right. How about now?
Okay. Yeah. Crystal clear.
All right, brilliant. Alrighty, let's do it. It is week 6 on the Spread Option Pod, and we soiled our pants last week. 0-4. Didn't win one, and let's be honest, I'm not sure those games were close.
No. The Air Force Hawaii game was particularly upsetting. I still think that was the right decision from a handicapping perspective. But just who knew the Air Force was the Air Force defense was that terrible? Like they were just doing that. Like Hawaii was just having that 5-6 yards little out route. They just kept spamming it over and over again, and the team could just not. Air Force defense just could not adjust. Terrible. There were two drop touchdowns, like wide open Air Force receivers who just the ball falling right into their hands and just couldn't come up with it.
I mean, the Air Force was done on both sides of the ball, but like I don't even know how to feel about that comeback in the second half, because I kind of feel like it was fake. I kind of feel like in reality Hawaii was never going to not cover.
Yeah.
But yeah, 6-10 overall, that hurts. 1-4 on the best bets makes me want to cry. Hey, at least we didn't set up a Twitter yet, so there's no real record of these picks anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's try again this week. Rotation 307-308. It's the Hilltoppers of Western Kentucky visiting Newark, Delaware to take on the Blue Hens. Delaware laying 2.5 on the total of 61.5. I suppose I could be convinced of any bet on this game, but I'd probably lay it before I took it.
I think it's pronounced Newark.
That makes sense, because you don't want any branding overlap with the capital of violence.
No. Listen. At the beginning of the season, where do we think this line would be?
Did we preview the Blue Hens?
We did very, very briefly.
Okay.
Very briefly.
Damn it. I forgot all about them. But I mean, okay. I don't know, because if we were thinking upside on them, we might have guessed they'd be home favorites to the Toppers. But I guess you're right.
Yeah. I mean, ask yourself, how often would Western Kentucky be a dog to an FCS team?
Well, but they're newly promoted, though. I
understand, but let me just ask you. You're like above average FCS team. Western Kentucky would still be a favorite even on the road. I think.
Okay, but hang on.
Yeah.
Let me push back on that. If it were an FCS team that had beat Connecticut and FIU, right? Like, give them the resume they have, right? I bet you they'd still be home favorites.
So Delaware won that game, and they got outgained by UConn. Okay. They went 3 for 3 on fourth down. And there was a walk-off. There was a walk-off touchdown in overtime for a touchdown run. Like, it was a close one-score game. Like, UConn is still, they've had 2 decent seasons the last few years, but this is still UConn. Beating UConn at home in a one-score game, sure, you can give them their flowers, but that's not like beating Michigan State at home in a one-score game. It's UConn. And then FIU, like, for some reason, every single year, you've been really horny on FIU.
Oh, wow. Hilarious.
But they're a bottom of the barrel team. They're like consistently in the bottom 10 of teams in FBS, and FIU outgained Delaware in that contest, 363 to 358. So, yeah, if that FCS team beat two bad programs, maybe the spread would be a little bit closer, but Western Kentucky would still be a favorite on the road. I think the stat nerds like Delaware's offense for some reason, but like Western Kentucky,
for some reason,
yeah, because they're putting up 300 and something yards on dog shit teams. Like Western Kentucky is the pride of this conference. So
okay.
I'm on Western Kentucky money line here. Wrong team favored.
All right, taking the toppers. I mean, on the basis of legacy pricing, I won't go head-to-head with you because this is probably the most that Delaware could conceivably lay. So, like,
yeah.
I mean, even if they do cover, it's probably not the wisest number.
No.
But don't be surprised if they do cover. Don't be surprised if this game just ends like, 35-24 Blue Hens. Okay. All right. Next one up, rotation 315-316. It's Oregon State visiting Appalachian State. The Beavers head to Boone, searching for their first win. And the Mountaineers are favored by 2 on a total of 53.5. I tend to think that this is a pretty sweet spot for the Beavers. The game kicks off at 3:30, crucially. Normal body clock time. It's a home field advantage for the Mountaineers, but it's not like, a talent and resume advantage, though. And Oregon State looks worse than they are because they've, lost and not covered against a bunch of teams. But those teams they lost and not covered to are like freaking Cal with their great quarterback, comeback winner last week, freaking Oregon, and then the Big 12 leaders, Texas Tech. So, I mean, it's kind of like Oregon State's been tested. Like, this is a major step down game. Not at an inconvenient time to play. By contrast, App State coming home after getting whooped up on at altitude last week. So that makes this a vulnerable setting for them as well. So, yeah, I like the Beavers here. I like them a lot.
Yeah, I bet Oregon State as well. This is a similar angle from another game that I'll be discussing soon. Oregon State, number 6 in the country according to ESPN, for strength of schedule. Number 6 in the country.
I buy that. Yeah, makes sense.
Appalachian State, 111. And yeah, we expected the Beavers, we gave up the Beavers versus Texas Tech. I think we're a little bit more pro Beaver than a lot of folks out there. But yeah, I think the reason why they're not a larger favorite here is because they've gotten their dicks kicked in, but by excellent teams. And this is a difficult spot for Oregon State and Wazoo. They're conference-less. They're in this weird limbo year, So
I'm going to say Oregon State did a better job scheduling than the Cougars.
Yeah, but this is the program's in a weird spot, but ultimately, probably as a whole, Appalachian State is a better program than Oregon State, but I think they just got the short end of the log, and they'll be able to gnaw through it.
Okay, I'm dying. That's hilarious. We're gonna. Okay. All right. Very good. Very good. Let's go, Beavers. All right. Next one up. Rotation 3-3-1-3-3-2. Washington now flies across the country to go to Maryland, but it is the Huskies playing 5.5 on the road on a total of 53.5. And fucking A, really 5.5? That's a tough line. What are you gonna do with that?
Turtle. Turtle, fear the turtle.
Here's one thing I'm going to say. I should have looked this up. I wonder what people's ATS record is the week after they play the Buckeyes, because I bet you the Buckeyes beat teams up.
There's probably not enough data points, and probably with non-conference scheduling, it's
that's the thing, the non-con of it all, but fuck it,
And anyway, so this is just a terrible spot for Washington. I think Washington's the better team, but this is just a terrible spot. They were already injured. They already had 6 starters out in the Buckeyes game. Then a linebacker and a tackle got hurt in that game. You have a physical game versus the Buckeyes, and you got to travel all the way across the country versus a team that's just had a bye, and their rookie quarterback looks decent. What often happens in Big Ten play is Maryland looks good early in the season and then they get their dicks kicked in. That could happen here, but I just think this is a team that was their over under this off season was 4.5. They already won 4 games. I think this is a better Terrapin team than most people expected, and just a terrible spot for Washington. So I sprinkled on the money line here too. Fear the Turtle.
I had no idea they beat Wisconsin. Get the fuck out of here. Okay.
Wisconsin's quarterback got hurt in that game.
They KO'd the quarterback and won 27-10. Still, That's amazing. Okay. All right. Fuck it. Rolling with the Terps. I dig it. I dig it. All right. Next one up, rotation 3-5-1-3-5-2. It's the Dukes. James Madison on the road visiting Georgia State. Madison laying 20 on a total of 52.5. I would only lay this. But I don't know. You tell me, you got that or you got total play?
So a rule that I gave myself a couple of years ago is that I would stop betting on Georgia State. It's time to break those rules, baby.
Ridiculous. Why would you take the 20?
Here's why. We're talking about strength of schedule disparity. James Madison, 104 in ESPN strength of schedule. Georgia State, number 1. Georgia State has gone on the road at Ole Miss, played Memphis, and then on the road at Vanderbilt. Ole Miss looks like they could be an SEC title contender, SEC championship game contender. Memphis contender in the American. Vanderbilt, people think they beat Alabama in back-to-back years. And Vanderbilt went crazy on this team, 70-21, but this was a revenge spot for Vandy after losing to Georgia State last year. So they went out and gave them a proper whooping. Georgia State was off the ball.
Lane also did 63-7, just to be clear.
Yeah, but it's just the home opener. It's the home opener. Okay. And that's what Lane likes to do to these teams if he can. But they're coming off a bye, and what's critical here is TJ Finley just joined the program. So he didn't start in the Ole Miss game. Okay, he started versus Memphis. So he's had 3 starts in a brand new offense, no time with the receivers, and TJ Finley's been a solid quarterback. Now after the bye, we're at home. We've had a little bit more time to familiarize ourselves with the offense. Obviously, any analytics that we're looking at for Georgia State are totally skewed because of this very, very difficult non-conference schedule. So that's why I'm on the Panthers here.
I expect James Madison to take a dump all over the Panthers.
Let's go head-to-head, baby.
Things first. I think we might have to because I think James Madison is going to get a lot of sacks, and I think they're going to pull away. If they don't jump on you at first, they're going to pull away in the second half. Yeah, we'll go head-to-head on the 20. Yeah, I'll lay you the 20.
Okay.
All right. I don't know. What's our best bet, though? Is it Maryland or is it the Beavers?
Let's go Beavers.
All right, then. Beavers plus 1.5 is the best bet.
Do you have any more time or no?
No, let's do it. What you got? You want to talk about some big games?
Yeah, I kind of think this is the week of the dogs. I like a lot of dogs this week.
Go on.
Purdue. I grabbed Purdue plus 11.5. Illini going on the road after.
Wait, are they at home? They're at home in this. Okay.
Sure. Yeah. Illini going on the road after that. The crushing defeat of Indiana, then the high of beating USC in the final seconds of that game. They have to go on the road. They almost lost this game versus Purdue last year. A much worse Purdue team. Really dangerous for Illinois. This is a rivalry game. Very, very dangerous. I like BC at Pitt.
Okay.
Boston College has lost a bunch of close games versus solid teams, both on the road. The Michigan State game was on the road. They had a fluky game versus Stanford on the road. They could have won that game versus Cal in the final seconds of that contest. I like BC here. But they didn't. I like BC here getting 6.5. I also like Kansas State versus Baylor getting 6.5. What would this be preseason otherwise? Kansas State's off a bye. They've looked terrible, but Baylor's defense can't stop anyone. I'm interested in that.
It hasn't improved week to week in the way that I would have anticipated.
No.
If you're asking what the fair line is, the fair line would probably be like 3.5, 4. That's probably what Baylor normally lays. I don't think it's that crazy.
I would say maybe 2,
right?
maybe 2.5. You probably maybe even more. I'm sure people have revised their Kansas State power ratings down like around a touchdown from preseason. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, probably, right. That's true.
I wouldn't if we look at game of the year lines. If Kansas State was a short road favorite, I wouldn't be surprised.
Because they lost, they were laying double digits to Navy, right?
Army.
And they lost that game.
Yeah, they were.
Army ran, and they lost that game.
Yeah. Wake at Virginia Tech. I haven't pulled the trigger here. I think this is interesting. Here, I would be more inclined to lay it with Virginia Tech, especially with that close game Wake Forest had versus Georgia Tech. Virginia Tech, bounce back game, but are they real? I'm interested in this game. Haven't pulled the trigger yet. Any thoughts on Wake Forest, Virginia Tech?
I gotta confess, I would expect Virginia Tech to be the better team. I haven't thought about the game at all, but I think they definitely deserve to be favorites. So this line is 6.5. You gotta lay. I guess there's 6s out there. You can lay 6. Gun to head, I'd still lay it. I'm with you. The likelier outcome is they win this game and pull away, not that Wake is in it to the final whistle.
Yeah. This total is also interesting. I'm probably gonna have action on this game. I bet Temple at home versus UTSA.
Really?
I don't know. I think this UTSA team might not be good.
What do you mean by that? What do you mean they
Temple
might not be good?
What was Frank? I just think ever since the Frank Harris era, this squad just hasn't been impressive.
But UTSA has taken care of business this season.
They have only 2 wins. What are you talking about?
Well, but I mean, what was their win total before the season? They're in line, right?
Maybe, they weren't going to win at Texas A&M, but I don't know. They laid an egg at Colorado State. I don't know. If they were for
but they did win the game. They failed to cover, but they look. Also, it was a bit wild. They were road favorites, right? But they won the game outright. That's what's important.
I think this is an improved Temple team. I bet Temple and grab the money line here with the Owls. I think this
My goodness.
Yeah, I think the program's going to bounce back with Casey Killer. I mentioned this in the off season. He's a good coach, and Temple, not only with Matt Rule, but I keep forgetting the coach after him, was solid. I think this is potentially a decent program. This has the potential to have be a middle of the pack in the American. Anyway, I grabbed Temple here. I know you're against it.
That's
I bet the
interesting.
Gators.
Look, I don't. Yeah.
I bet the Gators in the Swamp at 7, not at 5.5. I bet the Gators in the Swamp. I think both teams are not very good. Neither teams can score. Both defenses are excellent. I'll take a touchdown at home. Florida beat Texas on the road last year when Texas was a 21-point favorite, by the by.
Oh my God! What?
Yeah. So just yeah.
Yo. Okay. I mean, Texas is definitely a better team though on both sides of the ball. I think
sure.
Texas is going to win.
I grabbed Florida money line too.
Yo. Yo. This is good luck to you, sir.
I don't think Texas. Anyway, we'll see. Vandy at Alabama. I did not bet.
Would lay it all day.
Yeah.
Bama's gonna whoop up on them. I would take that little spread slider and I'd move it over to the right, like lay 17.5 with Bama. They're gonna do it to them. It is going to be an absolute beatdown in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking at. I think I'm interested in the total too, but
I like the over. Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah. I might not.
Bama's not going to turn it off. They're not going to turn it off. Like they might score 56 by themselves.
Yeah, I might. If I'm going to get someplace on this game, it'll be on the total or team total. But
well, I assume you meant the over.
Yeah. On the total.
Yeah.
But over the team total. Virginia at Louisville. This is tough. Virginia. This is a tough game. Virginia, coming off of possibly their biggest win ever, going on the road at Louisville. I'm not sure Louisville's very good, but terrible spot for Virginia. I'll be rooting for Virginia here, as I have a Virginia to win the ACC ticket in pocket. Big game for that future, but very interested in this game. Very, very interested.
That's a lot to lay. 6.5 total of 61.
Yeah.
It's a lot to lay.
It's just a bad spot for Virginia. Really, really bad.
Is it though? Is it really? Because maybe they're just going to come into this game with a lot of momentum, right? It doesn't have to be a flat spot. Louisville undefeated on the season. Not the kind of team you're apt to overlook.
Yeah. I mean, also, who would Virginia overlook? I
don't know.
They
Stanford,
know
William and Mary,
maybe.
a couple of their opponents.
Sure. Fine. Michigan State at Nebraska. I grab Sparta here. I just don't know if Nebraska's even decent. Remember, they had to scrape their way to get to a bowl last year. We keep crowning their asses each year with Matt Rule this, Matt Rule that.
I like Raiola. I thought Raiola would be good.
I like Raiola too. I just don't. I don't think the foundation of this team is strong, and their defensive line is not what it was last year. Yeah, I grabbed 11.5 with Sparta. What do you think of?
Yeah,
what do you think of Miami at FSU?
Yo, what is that? 3.5?
4.5 on ESPN Bet at least.
4.5. Yo,
This
game's gonna be close. I'd rather.
Yeah.
Just the experienced gambler in me knows to take the 4.5 when in doubt here.
Yeah.
Like,
the thing that makes me really nervous about the Florida State side is in that Virginia game, there was a series. I watched every second of that game. There was a series where Chandler Morris hurt his hand. He whacked his hand on a helmet of one of his own guys.
Mm-hmm.
After that next series, they only ran the ball. And Virginia was able to go the length of the field only running the ball versus Florida State. Miami has one of the top offensive lines in the country, and they could just move the line of scrimmage really, really easily. They could push against Florida. I don't know if you watched that Florida game.
Yo,
you would see
I didn't watch one snap.
Oh, dude. They'd hand off the ball, the running back would run 2 yards, and then the whole offensive line would just push Florida 3, 4, 5, 6 more yards.
What?
So that makes me, I'm really, this screams Florida State, but just from the eye test, I think Miami, I think Miami's going to be able to maul them.
You talking me into the alt spread. You talking me into the alt spread right now. It's Miami, because Miami's also going to be strong on the defensive line of scrimmage. So they might win both sides of the line of scrimmage.
The problem in this game for me is we know Castellanos is a baller, and Florida State might be able to score with some regularity. Can Miami, is Carson Beck fully healthy? Can they stretch the field? Are they going to be able to pass the ball on Florida State? That's the real question.
Depends on the pocket you give him. If you give Beck a pocket, he can move the ball for you. You got to sack Beck to stop him.
Yeah, he looked better in the Notre Dame game and looked bad in the Florida game. But to be fair, there was rain in all of the games that Miami has played. But this is a really interesting game. I might bet it live. Also, Mississippi State at Texas A&M. Should Texas A&M be laying 15.5 versus this team?
Of points.
That's a lot of points.
Goodness
That's a lot of points.
That's. I understand that it was a heartbreaking result for the Bulldogs.
That's a lot of points. That's a lot of points.
Because I know that they put a lot into beating Tennessee, so they do come to A&M a bit depressed, you would think. Still, yeah, that's a lot.
That's a lot of points.
Is Elko even inclined to put it on? If the score is 24-10 in the fourth quarter, is Elko even inclined to get it up to 31?
You know what's also a lot of points? TCU laying 13.5 at home versus Colorado. Is TCU about that life?
Colorado sucks.
I understand, but is TCU a top 15 a top 15 team this year? Are they just? Can they?
It gotta be though. No, Sonny will whoop up on you. If he can pull away, he'll always pull away. Sonny will whoop up on you. And Colorado. And also, hasn't Dion already broken the kid's confidence? Caden can't play. You fucking broke the kid.
Apparently they benched him for a game because of some disciplinary issue. Who knows? But that's a lot of points. I might have to take the Buffs here. I think I'd rather take Colorado than Mississippi State, honestly.
I'll say this. When this game was played with Shador, it was Texas Christian laying something like 4.5 in Colorado. So flipping it around like this with the worst quarterback for the Bucs, I think it's probably fair enough.
I mean, how many Big 12 games this season will have a spread of 2 touchdowns or more? Not too many. Like,
I didn't think about it in those terms, but I guess not.
Are West Virginia? This also, like, West Virginia is going to
never again.
BYU.
Never again. Never again taking the Mountaineers this season. No
like,
doubt.
yeah, on Friday night.
Luck.
On Friday night, BYU is laying 19.5 at home.
I'm aware.
Versus West
I looked
Virginia.
at this game earlier. If you want to bet it, God bless. I think that's crazy.
No. I bet if you, I'd rather lay it.
Yeah, for sure. Honestly.
But,
yeah.
Okay, yeah. I mean, Colorado is better than anyway. I mean, how many times are we going to see double-digit spreads in Big 12 games? I don't know.
Also, are you sure the Buffalo's defense is going to get off the field? You sure they're going to get off the field? I don't know about that. Texas Christian, I think, is going to move the ball condos at will. You know,
I'm not.
That's the way I would see it go.
I'm not sure. I mean, they only lost by 3 at home to BYU, who may be good. I'm not sure. That was a 1-score game versus Georgia Tech at home. Bad road loss to Houston, but that was with the backup Staub. I don't know. I might be on Colorado.
Okay. Good
yeah,
luck to you, sir, on that.
I might be. I feel like Texas A&M has more of a killer instinct than TCU does.
I don't know anything about Elko, really. I don't really remember, because his Duke teams weren't really in a position to blow people out. I don't know what his attitude is. I know that Sonny will run up the motherfucking score. Like, I know there's times where Sonny has put up 50-plus on people. So, like, that's where I'm at on that. But if we're talking about games, I'm going to say, if you get into trouble, in my back pocket, I'm just going to come back with Cal. Late night, home to Duke. Believe it or not, the Dukies are laying it. It's crazy.
Yeah. I was going to grab Cal, but I don't want to be betting games I'm just clearly not going to watch. You know?
Those are probably the best games to bet. Probably, if we never ever bet a game just because we were watching it, it would take us from losers to winners, or like to break even. I bet you. Actually, that's my New Year's resolution, and by New Year's I mean today. Yeah, literally never again gonna bet some shit just to watch it. Like I'm gonna read a fucking book or masturbate or something. I'm not gonna bet something just to watch it. Yeah, it's a good rule. All right, we learned something today. This was a hell of a